Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Tyler Merkovich with Emery Hunt Azardo Playbook. Seattle travels to Green Bay Week 16. Seattle, a disappointing loss against Tampa Bay. They really need to stop teams on third down, especially passing, and that's what Green Bay loves to do, is pass the ball all over the field. Green Bay, they really need to, instead of stretching the game out, making it a long game, shorten up the game, keep your defense off the field, because they throw the ball so much, so their defense is on the field. So they need to run the ball, which they've been doing slightly better lately. But what are your keys to victory for the Seahawks, who looks like they've mailed it in already this year?
They have to match the Packers' intensity. One thing I love about the Green Bay Packers, they play fast. Seattle used to have that mantra of playing fast on both offense and defense. They have to match the Packers' intensity on both offense and defense, so Seahawks have to play fast this week. Second, they really can't allow themselves to get gashed in that secondary. The secondary has to compete. So they really have to, outside of Trufant, the other guys back there have to really be able to step up and compete, because you know Green Bay is going to spread these guys out and toss the football around 45 times a game. So the secondary better be ready to compete, which means that front four, the depleted front four and front seven actually, is going to have to get pressure on Rodgers, because he is a sneaky athlete. So you really have to make sure you stay in your gaps and get push, not pressure, and run past him.
And Al Harris injury to Green Bay really exposing their secondary. Their young players were getting torched by Pittsburgh's wide receivers. What are your keys to victory for Green Bay? Their front seven's playing well. They're playing good against a run, but they're really giving up too many pass yards through the air.
Well, you look at Clay Matthews. He's going to be the difference maker. He has to have nonstop pressure throughout the game, relentless pressure from Matthews to disrupt Hasselbeck's timing with those receivers. That's going to be a key. Second, you touched upon it earlier, they really have to dedicate themselves to the run, because you're going to have to run the football in the playoffs in order to have some success. The Packers are headed to the playoffs. They have to work on that run game. You're right. Do not pass the ball too much, because that can lengthen the game and keep teams like the Seahawks around. And that's what happened with Pittsburgh. They threw themselves out of the game by shortening the game. By lengthening the game, you want to shorten the game, give yourself opportunity. You do have a dynamic passing game, so don't let your strength be your weakness. Work on that run game this week. I like the Packers. I think they're going to come out. That defense is just playing fast, lights out. Woodson and company. Clay Matthews making his claim for Rookie of the Year. So they're going to put too much pressure on the Seahawks. I like the Packers.
Despite that 1-point loss to Pittsburgh, I think the Packers are a team to be reckoned with. Watch out for this team come playoff time. But Seattle, their front seven really not helping out. Some good secondary players they have in Trufant, Josh Wilson, Jennings, a couple other guys. So it's tough for Seattle to win this game. Green Bay with the passing attack. Aaron Rodgers looks great, and I think this team is prone for a good run ending the season. For more coverage, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL.